Toastmaster. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. What is the Africa of our dreams? Africa, too many screams. A gentleman by the name of W.E.B, DuBois, said these words: "Now is the accepted time. Not tomorrow, not some more convenient season. It is today that our best work can be done, and not some future day or future year. It is today that we fit ourselves for a greater useful of tomorrow. Today is the seed time. Not now are the hours of work, and tomorrow comes the harvest and the playtime." So, as an African, I too have been wondering with perplexing questions. Why is Africa so behind? And who is an African? Growing up in Southern Africa, in the township, playing soccer under the tower light, we used to enjoy as boys playing there with no shoes, playing the plastic ball, because the proper soccer ball or football was just a dream to have, the leather one, you know the one I'm talking about? That was a dream for us. So we had to make do with the plastic one, with our bare feet, not in the lawn, no, in the actual ground. And what was fascinating about those days and those times growing up there in Southern Africa was in the evenings where this tower light that was erected soon after independence that allowed the township to be alive late into the night. And when you looked up in the sky, you see thousands and thousands of stars. And amongst those stars, if you stared for a moment, you see a shooting star. And as a boy, you get excited. You look around you and see if other boys saw that shooting star. Because the myth was, if somebody else saw that shooting star, then you could not make a wish. But if nobody saw it, you will make your wish. You will make your own dream. You say it into yourself, whatever that wish was, whatever that dream was. And it was those dreams back there in Southern Africa, in that township, under the tower light, that gave us hope as Africans, as African boys and girls. We had dreams of being soccer stars, going to Europe to play in the Premier League. Those were our dreams. Dreams to come to the US and go to Hollywood and become big movie and film stars. We didn't even have a television set back at home, so we had to beg our neighbors who were a little bit wealthier than us. Back then they had the black and white television sets, and that was huge for us back then. You remember the black and white television sets? Yeah, we'll go and knock. They couldn't afford that, but we'll go next door with our friends and beg, and they will let us watch Knight Rider. They will let us watch Falcon Crest and Dynasty, the A-Team, $6 Million Man. Those were exciting times for us. So as I grew into my teenagehood and I went to high school, those dreams still stuck with me, to be a soccer player, to be a television star, to be something, to be somebody. We had hope. Those were our African dreams. But today, we can see what is happening in the world in the 21st century. So much is going on. There's economic turmoil going all over. We see the uprisings going on beginning in Northern Africa. Today they call them the Arab Springs. But they started in Africa, in Northern Africa. How do we define an African? African, Arab, African, Muslim, African. However you want to define what an African is, there's so much that connects all the peoples of Africa, more than just the color of their skin, more than just the language differences, more than just the texture of their hair, more than just the color of their eyes. So, I believe that for Africa and Africans to begin to live and find what those African dreams are, or to have that ability for us to live those African dreams, it is time for maybe for Africans to redefine our African-ness, so that we stop dividing ourselves. We got 54 countries in Africa. Does that make sense? Each country you visit, from Zambia to Malawi, from Malawi to Angola, from Angola to Tanzania, you have to produce a passport. You go to China, you can go to from one province to another. You don't have to produce that. You come to America, you can go from Alaska to Miami, to LA, to New York. You are a free man. You are free to be creative, to be innovative. That's why we had people like Steve Jobs. That's why we had such great men like W.E.B, DuBois, who said now is the accepted time. That means that even for Africans, now is the accepted time for us to make the change that we want, for us to begin to live the African dreams that we so much wish for. We have seen the fall of the dictators in Tunisia. Ben Ali is out in exile in Saudi Arabia. We see what happened to Gaddafi. What are the lessons? So many dreams have been held back for 42 years, 4 decades, by a single man. It just shows that when you keep on holding on to power, then we keep on holding back the dreams of the African children. Too many screams. So now is the accepted time that Africans can begin to make that difference for themselves. Even I, myself, I still dream to be that television producer. That is why I've gone on and started writing my own book. I've created my own television show called The Aphrodisiac Show, an entertainment show, a late night show that I hope will be Africa's first premier late night show. I love to write poetry. If only I had time, I would use this innovation that Steve Jobs gave us to show you that one of my poems that I have written. Quickly, it says, the agency of now. The world is ruthless, and unless we are truthful, then we remain feeling worthless. Regardless of our languages, we are all Africans. If we can find the oneness, then we can become victorious. Then, divided, we remain powerless. The agency of now is to find our African-ness. Now is the accepted time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not make excuses. Let us be serious about the Africa of our dreams so that we can stop seeing the many screams like we have seen in Dadaab, in the Horn of Africa. All of us as Africans can begin to see that there is so much that connects us deeper than the color of our skin, than our language differences, that make us all Africans. It is that deeper fiber that is in our DNA, that make us Africans. So through our diversity of our cultures, wherein is our strength, we as Africans can make that difference. We can now lay that foundation for African children to pursue by tapping into their potential and live their African dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time. I am Mangwenya's baby boy, Fritz Kanyile Ka-Ngwenya, saying it's been a plum pleasure and a privilege. Thank you for lending me your ears. Now is the accepted time.